Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadammayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganlalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhayeva cha Patidanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine, Namaste Saraswati Deve, Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi, Paschatya Deshatarine. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangam langayate girim, yatkipatam hamande, Shri Guru Dintarnam, Paramananda Madhavam, Shri Chadan Mishram, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Vishtaya Putla, Srimate Jayapataka Swami Nitanami, Namachara Padaya, Nidaya Kripa Pradayini, Gaura Katadam, Dainagarakamata. Let me try to share the screen. Screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, so let's start today's session. So last week we had a wonderful session by Swami Raghunath Prabhu where he covered the first 6 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam. These 6 chapters talks about, it starts with the, Sut Goswami, basically the Naimisharanya sages asking Sut Goswami the 6 questions. And those 6 questions were how what happened to Dharma after this thing, after Krishna left, and all those questions, that how Krishna did the pastimes and all those. So from second chapter onwards, second chapter is one of the most wonderful chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, where the glories of Bhakti Yoga is explained in detail by Sud Goswami. So then later we had the 3 chapters where it is Narad Muni and the conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasdev happened. So Narad Muni, basically, so in short, the Vyasdev feels a little bit morose after writing so many scriptures. Why he is not happy? He's not. So that time Narad Muni comes there and he tells him that you have not glorified, directly Lord Krishna, and better you do that part. And after that, there is Narad Muni tells about his own birth, how he was born as a servant, maid servant's son, and later he was, had the darshan of the Lord. So now, after all this, it's Sud Goswami says that after Lord Krishna's, departure, from this material world. Dharma and Jnana was basically was there in Srimad Bhagavatam. So Srimad Bhagavatam, the son of Srimad Bhagavatam, has arisen in the where Dharma and Jnana has been established. That's a famous shloka. Krishna Swadham Upakate. So after Krishna left, Jnana and Dharma took shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now this seventh chapter is the name of this chapter is Son of Drona Punished. So one thing about these 6 chapters are that there is not too much story in this. Like unlike the last section and next 7 chapters are also there is a lot of story. But here it is hardly in this 6 chapters there is hardly any story. Only thing is that Ashwatthama is punished and our Parikshit Maharaj is born. But in between, there is a lot of glorious things happen in the sense that there are the prayers of Kunti Maharani and there are the prayers of Bhishma Dev. These 2 sections are one of the most glorious sections of Srimad Bhagavatam. And these prayers are considered to be a very high, what do you say, uh, high level of, philosophy, high level of knowledge, which is imbibed by the simple devotees of the Lord, like Kunti Maharani, and great devotee, great warrior like Bhishma Dev. So in 7 chapters, actually, it starts with, Shaunak Rishi. Sorry, I'll have to keep seeing my notes as well. So Shaunak Rishi, he starts, 1 minute. Basically, Shaunak Rishi asks that, okay, this conversation between Narad Muni and Vyasdev has happened. So after that, Narad Muni has gone. Now what has happened? So Sud Goswami says that, Vyasdev sat at the banks of river, Saraswati, and he meditated upon the Lord. So this Saraswati river is the ashram, which is Bhadrik ashram, which is now Badrinath. So, so what did Vyasdev saw? Vyasdev saw Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Bhakti Yogin Manasi Samyat Pranhite Amale Apashyat Purusham Paramam Purnam Mayam Cha Tad Apashyam. He fixed his mind, perfectly engaging it by linking it to devotional service without any tinge of materialism. And thus he saw the absolute personality of Godhead along with his external energy, which was in full control. So what did Vyasdev saw? Vyasdev saw the external energy of the Lord, which is, sorry, he saw the Lord along with the external energy of the Lord. And, he was, this energy of the Lord is fully under the control of the Lord. So in next Loka Krishna, Sudhu Swami says that living entities, they are just under the illusion of material nature, the modes of material nature. They undergo the material, so many miseries. But a person who is taking the shelter of, devotional service to the Supreme Lord, for that person, there is no issues at all. A person can very easily overcome the, the miseries of material world by simply doing what? A simple step of doing the devotional service to the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. This is famous shloka 7, this 7.7, which is Yasyaham vai Shriyamananam Krishne Param Purushe Bhaktir Utpadyate Pumsa Shloka, sorry, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. By simply giving oral reception to this Vedic literature. Which Vedic literature? Srimad Bhagavatam. The feeling of the loving devotional service to the Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, sprouts up. Utpadyate means it sprouts up, it comes up. To once extinguish the fire of lamentation, illusion, and fearful. Shok, moh, bhaya. So what is the problem with all of us, the living entity, is that we are always worried about, um, uh, past. So we always keep shoka. Shoka means lamenting. We always keep lamenting about the past. Moha means we are attached to today, means presence. And bhaya means we are fearful about the future. And that's how our whole life goes away. without even, seriously thinking what is the goal of our life. So anybody who has reached the Srimad Bhagavatam, this glorious scripture, for him to overcome this shoka moha bhaya is very, very easy. So that's the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. So now, after this, what happens is that, from 8 chapter 8 shloka onwards, we see that Vyasdev, he compiles the Srimad Bhagavatam and he revises it. So there's a word written here, revising it. So he revises and teaches this to his son, Shukdev Goswami. And Shukdev Goswami, now Shaunak Rishi says that Shukdev Goswami was a born self-realized soul. We will see in the later, I think 18th or 19th chapter, that how Shukdev Goswami is born. All that story is also there, but here it's not touched as of now. So they say that he's he's a self-realized soul. Then for him, why he has to undergo the trouble of going through the Srimad Bhagavatam literature? Then again, there is a famous shloka comes, which is known as the Atma Ram shloka. There is a history to this shloka that when our Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he meets Sanatan Goswami, there's a famous conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and this thing. At that time, Sanatan Goswami requests Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to talk about this shloka. Atmaramascha munyo nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahetukim bhakti itham bhuta guno hari. So Sud Goswami says that all variety of Atma Ramas who take pleasure in Atma or a spirit self, especially those established in the path of self-realization, though free from the all kind of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of God. This means that Lord possesses the transcendental qualities, therefore can attract everyone. Even the liberated, the point of this which Sud Goswami is trying to make here is that even the liberated souls who are already liberated, they also relish the nectarian pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they render the service. That means all sort of, so where the word used here is Atmaram, Munayo. So these all are liberated, the people who are already liberated, but they also take the great pleasure in offering devotional service to the Lord. So this shloka, actually, he has given 20, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave 61 different meanings to this shloka. Or if you see the purport, Prabhupada has also tried to give the each word different meanings, like 10, 11 meanings to word Atmaram. And to Atma word, he has given some 7 meanings. So like that, he has, given a this is a very famous shloka and very, discussed upon shloka. So anyway, so now further, I request all the devotees to mute themselves. Otherwise, we may have to take a pain of muting everybody. So then what happens is that, so now Sud Goswami in 12th shloka, he says that let me start the, narration of the Lord Krishna's pastimes and topics of his birth, activities, and deliverance of King Parikshit. Now he starts talking about King Parikshit. So what happens in Srimad Bhagavatam, it comes, we know that Mahabharata war was over, and after that everybody was killed, from most of the people from Kauravas and Pandavas sides were killed. And the only people left was, even the Duryodhana. There was a fight between Bhima and Duryodhana. And then that fight, we all know that his leg, what do you call this? This leg was broken by Duryodhana, by the Bhima. And at that point of time, Dronacharya's son, Ashwathama, becomes very angry, and just he thinks that, okay, Duryodhana has not died yet. He thinks that let me impress my master by killing these Pandavas. So, what he does is that he goes and kills the 5 sons of Pandavas. So they had, each one of the Pandavas had 1 son each from Draupadi, and they were sleeping in a, and this person, Ashwatthama, beheads all 5 of them. And after seeing this, as soon as these Pandavas and Draupadi, they come to know that, their sons have been killed by Ashwathama, they, it becomes, Draupadi becomes very, what do you say, morose, or she cries loudly, and so Arjuna, he tells that Draupadi that, okay, don't worry, I'll kill this, um, Ashwathama, and I will, until then, we will not do the cremation of our sons. And after doing cremation, you will take bath standing on the head of Ashwathama. Like that, he tells. And then he goes and chases the Ashwathama. And Ashwathama, he just sees that, Arjuna is so furious and he's chasing him. He doesn't know how to save himself. He tries to run a lot, but at the end, his horses get tired and he sees that there is no other way for him to escape. So what he does is that he, chants mantras and releases the master towards Arjuna. So now, when Arjuna sees, of course, the chariot was driven by Lord Krishna. So then, after seeing this big fire coming towards Arjuna, there is a wonderful thing here that Arjuna does not request Krishna directly that you please save me, or he doesn't try it himself to save himself. What he does immediately, he offers wonderful prayers to Lord Krishna. To lesson to learn here is that whenever a devotee is in the danger, then he thinks about Lord Krishna. So here, that let me see. So it's a famous, very beautiful shloka where Arjun Uvacha, Krishna Krishna Mahabaho Bhakta Nama Vayankara Tvame Kodaya Mananam Apavarkosi Samshritaha. He says, "Oh, my Lord Sri Krishna, you are almighty personality of Godhead. There is no limit to your different energies. Therefore, only you are the competent to instill fearlessness in the hearts of your devotees. Everyone in the flames of material miseries can find the path of liberation only in you." So you see that the great devotee of the Lord, he knows, although Arjuna is quite capable, he knows how to take care of Brahmastra, right? Isn't it? We see in the later that how he counteracts Brahmastra, but still a devotee is always dependent on Krishna. He never thinks himself to be a very great, all these material, this thing, whatever the material opulences Krishna has blessed us. We should always be grateful that Krishna has given us so many things in our life, and apart from that, we should, whenever we see any trouble, we can easily. So this is the question which comes, I have heard in one of the lecture where I have, one of the Maharajas was asked this, that we always say that bhakti should be ahetuki and apratihata, means there should be no cause to it and it should be continuous. Then why we see that so many devotees, whenever they are in trouble, they are they are equally troubling the Krishna by asking him to help. And Maharaj says that, that shows that person is, fully surrendered to Krishna. And when they ask from the Lord help, that shows they want to show to the whole world that they are only dependent on Krishna. Vyavsayatmika buddhi ekaha kuru nandana. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So our devotional service should be very focused. That Krishna is the only savior for me. I am the only dependent on Krishna, and I have no capability. Only Krishna can save me. See, if we have that kind of this thing, then we will be able to make progress in our bhakti. So we see that Krishna in next four shlokas, Arjuna, he offers wonderful prayers to Krishna. Tvam adhya purusha sakshat Ishwarah prakrite paraha Maya vyudasya chit chaktya kevalya sthite atmani. You are the original personality of Godhead who expends himself all over the creation and is transcendental to material energy. You have cast away the effect of material energy by the dint of your spiritual potency. You are always situated in eternal bliss and transcendental knowledge. So like that, sorry, my screen went up. Okay, so like that, Arjuna offers wonderful prayers to Lord Krishna. And at last he says, as you see in 26 shloka, Krishna says, "O Lord of the Lords, how is this dangerous effulgence is spreading all around? Where does it come from? And I do not understand." After that, he's saying, after praising the Lord Krishna, he's saying that, please let me know what is this. And Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, he says that, this is the Brahmastra which is coming from, which is thrown by Dronacharya. So only another Brahmastra can counteract it, because Dronacharya's son does not know how to take it back. And after that, Arjuna, touches the water of purification, and after circumlating the Lord Krishna. So here also we see that Arjuna directly is not firing Brahmastra. He's circumlating Lord Krishna. Basically, he is dependent on Krishna. Although he is equally capable, he is also throwing back Brahmastra. He knows how to counteract, but he is still, praying to Lord Krishna, because unless and until Lord Krishna desires, nothing happens in this material world. So after that, there is both the Brahmastra, they fight, they collide each other, and then there's this thing. And, after that, what Arjuna does is that Arjuna binds Ashwatthama and, brings into, military camp. Here, Krishna takes one test of Arjuna. So he gives certain reason why, our Arjuna should kill Ashwatthama. So let's see, he gives some reason. So he says that Arjuna, you should not show mercy by releasing a relative of a Brahmana, Brahma Bandhu. Brahma Bandhu is a Brahma. See, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chaturvarnam Maya Shashtam Guna Karma Vibhagasha. So it is according to Guna and Karma, a person is, a different Varnas. It's not that just by birth he is this thing. But here, a person who is born in a Brahmana family, but his acts are not Brahmanical, then that person is not called a Brahmana. He is called a Brahma Bandhu. That's how Krishna is referring. So because he has killed your, innocent kids, he is eligible to become killed. So, and Krishna then gives the reason that a person who is killing any of these people, like he says, a person who knows the principle of religion does not can kill any enemy which is careless. So mattam pramattam unmattam suptam balam sriyam jadam means a person who is mattam means careless. Pramattam means intoxicated. Unmattam means mad. Suptam means sleeping. Balam means a child. Istriyam means a woman. Jadam means a foolish person. So the point is that a person who knows the religion does not kill any one of this. But what Ashwatthama has done, he has already killed these. So like that, he gives. So he tells that okay, he has killed your children. You have already given the commitment to Draupadi that he will kill this Ashwatthama. So now it's a time to kill him. So, but then Sud Goswami says that Krishna, who was examining Arjuna in religion, so he was testing Arjuna that is he acting on dharma or not. So he encouraged Arjuna to kill, but Arjuna did not like that idea. He just thought, okay, he wanted to think upon it. But now the question may come is that, when when it was trying to kill Dronacharya, Arjuna didn't think, Krishna didn't think, he incited Arjuna to kill Dronacharya. But when it's coming to Ashwatthama, why he's not telling, why he's putting a doubt in Arjuna's mind. So we'll come to know later, because basically he wanted to, there is another major incident which is still awaiting, when Ashwatthama will fire the Brahmas again on the womb of Uttra, who is the last, who was carrying the last, last person, last men of the, family, which was Parikshit. So for that reason, all this, doubt is being put. So now what is happening is that Draupadi, he sees Ashwatthama. So then immediately what she does is that she is not also willing to kill Ashwatthama. So there is one nice word used in this shloka, Vam Swabhava Kripaya Nanamacha. So which means that because of her Vam Swabhava, means female nature, and due to her merciful nature or compassionate nature, she is not very happy to see Ashwatthama being bound. So see what quality, what quantity of what quality of, what kind of personalities these great personalities are. Just put yourself in the shoes of Draupadi or Arjuna. Our son is being killed by the same person, but these people are still compassionate. And if you see that in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna first time he says that, I'm not going to fight, in that purport, Prabhupada nicely saying that out of her compassion, and Prabhupada say that compassion is a great quality of a devotee. A devotee cannot be just like, very careless and, he's compassion by heart. Vaishnava jana to teni chahiye, peed parai jane re. A person who is understands the, difficulty of other, who is very kind at heart. So what Draupadi does, she gives some reason. So first thing he says in 43rd shloka, if you see, he says, release him, he is a Brahmana, our spiritual master. Then she says, next logic, Dronacharya's mercy only you have learned so many martial arts. How can you kill his son? And then he says that for Kripi, the wife of Dronacharya, Dronacharya is still alive through his son. So because his son is alive, so Kripi's husband, Dronacharya, is still alive because son is the representative of father. Then she gives that, okay, it is the principle of religion also. It is not good to cause grief to a glorious family who is respectable. So Dronacharya was a very respectable person. And then she gives the main reason. She says that Dronacharya's wife, I don't want her to, because she's a mother, I don't want her to go through the same pain which I am going through. And then at last she says that being a dharmic king, it doesn't, any king who is not giving respect to Brahmanas, it is not good to kill. So for that dynasty or for that family, it is, inauspiciousness comes. So like that, Draupadi gives certain reason and Yudhishthira supports this. And later Nakul, Sahadev, Satyaki, even Arjuna and Krishna, they all start supporting after Draupadi that, okay, we should not kill this person. But then Bhima becomes angry and he says, no, he is a killer of our children. He should not be this. Now Arjuna, so here in 52nd shloka, Krishna is referred as Chaturbhuja. So Krishna actually is not showing four-armed Narayan form anywhere in during Mahabharata war, right? But here is still being referred as Chaturbhuja. So why? Because he has to keep the balance between the arguments of Draupadi, Yudhishthir, Nakul, Sahadev, and on the other side, Bhima, who wants to kill. So Krishna he tells now to Arjuna that ideally speaking, a Brahmana is not to be killed. But at the same time, a person, if he is aggressor, he has to be killed. So now you decide what you want to do. So what Arjuna does is he removes his hair from his head and he removes the money which was there on the Ashwathama's forehead, and they release the Ashwathama from there. So and after that, Pandavas and Draupadi, they do the last rites of their sons. So now the next chapter, very important chapter, is the Queen's Kurti's prayers. So in this chapter starting, what happens is that after doing their sons' last rites, they take bath in Ganga and all that, and after that they all are very morose, and Lord Krishna wants to somehow tries to convince Yudhishthir Maharaj, saying that some things are not in our control. It's all time which decides and all that. And after that, he makes King Yudhishthir to do 3 Ashwamedh Yajna. And here it's mentioned, Sud Goswami says that, what, glory Indra got by doing 100 sacrifices, Ashwamedh Yajna, the same glory just Yudhishthira Maharaj going by just 3 Ashwamedh Yajna. And like that, glory of King Yudhishthira spread all around. And after doing all this, King Lord Shri Krishna, he decides to depart, Hastinapur. As soon as he comes out after receiving, anyway, we'll see the next chapter is all about leaving. But after that, when he starts towards Dwarka and he sits in the chariot, that time Uttara comes running towards Krishna in fear. So she says, Pahi Pahi Mahayogin Dev Dev Jagatpate Nanyam Tvat Abhayam Pashe Yatra Mrityu Parasparam. So she's saying that, oh Lord of Lords, Lord of Universe, you are the greatest of mystics. Please protect me. For there is no one else to save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. So she comes running and requesting Krishna to help. And she says, next she says, okay, I'm not asking to save you myself. I'm just asking, some fiery iron arrow is coming towards me. It's okay if you desire that if I be killed, I'm fine, but please save the child which is there in my womb. So she uses the nice word, if you so desire. That's also a wonderful thing, that whenever we offer any prayer to Lord, for even for our protection, because sometimes we don't know what is good for us, what's not good for us. We just at that moment of time we want some to save ourselves from some material miseries or something like that, but that may or may not be good for us. Krishna will fulfill that. Krishna will give us the thing whatever is good for us. It's not that whatever we need every time he will sanction. So she uses the night word, if you so desire. So then, and she says that, okay, I'm not asking for my savior. Please save my child who is in the womb. So with this, what happens is that Krishna immediately understood that Ashwathama, who was being, given a life, again he does the mischief by sending another Brahmas, not one Brahmas, he sends many Brahmas. So basically, he's sending, my understanding, it's 6 Brahmas he sends. 5 for Pandavas and 1 for Uttara's womb. And Prabhupada writes in the purports, see, this Brahmas was so much, perfect that it will only go and hit the target. It will not, it will create grace, this thing, but it will not affect others. It will just affect the person on whom it has been targeted. So like that, so what Krishna did immediately with this Sudarshan Chakra, he saves all the Pandavas. And but there is very less time. So immediately he enters into the womb of Uttara and he saves the child. So now, after the child is saved, then Mother Kunti, she comes forward and she starts offering prayers to Lord Krishna. I'm seeing it's 6:50. I don't know how much we can cover, but we will just see some of these prayers, very, very beautiful prayers Kunti is offering here. We will see few of them. Namasye Purusham Tvadyam Ishwaram Prakate Param Alaksham Sarvabhutanam Antarbahir Avasthitam. So Krishna, Kunti Maharani first saying, okay, I'm offering these prayers to not my nephew Krishna. Whom she is offering? She is offering to Purusham Tva Adyam. Adyam means from whom everything has originated. And Purusham means the supreme, he's the supreme person. Ishwaram, controller. He is the supreme controller. Prakriti Param is this who is beyond this material nature. Alaksham Sarva Bhutana. He cannot be be seen by the normal people. Although he is there antar and by he is internally there and externally also is there. So now the question may come is that Krishna may ask is that, okay, if I am within and outside also, then why nobody is able to approach me? Then she answers the next question. Maya javanika channam agnadokshajam avyayam na lakshye muda drisha nato natya dharo yatha. So we can take an example. Kunti Bharani saying, suppose our child is participating in the school's annual function. Then what happens is the child sometimes so much makeup is there that it's very difficult to see where is our child. And for us only it is difficult, then for other people, they will not know this is our son. He will be decorated as somebody else. So like that only, Krishna, who is like a Nato Natyadar, a person who is doing a drama, like that, he is acting in this material world like a normal human being. So it is not possible. Muda Drasha, whose eyes are foolish, means who people, foolish people, they cannot understand you. She is glorifying you. But then he says that, okay, they cannot see, but you are my aunt. Can't you see me also? Who am I? So then she answers, Tatha parmahamsanam munina mamalatmanam bhakti yoga vidhanartham katam pashyema histya. So he says that great paramhamsas, muninam, amal atmanam, these are all great devotees who can differentiate between matter and spirit. They only are not able to understand, I am just a lady, a small stri. How can I understand you? Then but then now she says, okay, although I'm a lady, but I know who you are. You are Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Nama. You are Krishna. Anybody can have name Krishna. So who you are? You are Vasudev. You are son of Vasudev. And then not just son of Vasudev, you are the son of Devaki also. Okay, Vasudeva and Devaki gave you birth, but you were sent to where? Nandagop Kumaraya. So you were sent to the Nandagopa's house. So that Supreme Lord, I am, I'm offering my prayers. So like that, these are beautiful prayers. This is again, Namaha Pankaj Nabhaya, Namaha Pankaj Maline, Namaha Pankaj Netraya, Namaste Pankaj Angraye. So who's, see there, here also, she, Acharya say that she is not offering the prayers directly at the lotus feet, because devotee is generally, as a devotee, what we are generally being instructed, whenever we go to temple, first thing we should see is the lotus feet of the Lord. Then we should see his Nabhi. Then we should see his beautiful face. But what she is doing, she's starting with the nabi, she's starting with the navel. So what she does is she is offering that navel is like a pankaja, like a lotus. And the Lord who is wearing the pankaj maline, who is wearing the lotus flower garland, pankaj netra, whose eyes are like lotus and whose feet are also. So she doesn't want to embarrass, although Krishna is a supreme personality, but he is standing there as the nephew of Kunti. So that's why at the end she is offering, his prayers to the lotus feet of the Lord. So and then she glorifies one after the other. How Krishna? See, although the point is that Mother Devaki gave you birth, you saved Mother Devaki and this thing from Vasudev from Kamsa, and then after that you went to this thing. Nandgaon, and you basically Gokul and Nandgaon, and then you did nice pastimes with this thing. But I am more fortunate than all of them. Why? Because whenever we are troubled, you came and saved us. So she is saying you saved us from poisoned cake. Bhima was given a poisoned food by the Duryodhana. Great fire by Lakshya, that it was that house where they were being asked to go, and that house was put on fire from cannibals like Hidimba Rakshasa. That time you saved us. You saved from the vicious assembly, basically where Draupadi was disrobed. And later you, in the battle of Mahabharata, they were the great generals were there. Still you saved us. And today you are saving us from the weapon of Ashwathama. So then she makes a very striking statement, which is very, very, very scary for all of us, to be honest. Vipadha santu taha shashvat tatra tatra jagat guru bhavato darshanam yathyat apunar bhav darshanam. So she says that let the all calamities come upon me again and again, because whenever these calamities have come, you have come to save us. You have given your darshan. You all know this. When Draupadi was being disrobed, and Lord sends through the unlimited that sari. When they were being troubled by Durvasa Muni, for example, he came there. Then Akshapatra, which was already washed and kept by Draupadi, at that point of time, Krishna comes there and he will, okay, you give me one piece of this thing. And with that, Krishna. So Kunti is saying, whenever we had any problem, you had come to save us. Let these problems come again and again to me. I'm not scared of that. Because you are this thing. This is a very striking statement. Unfortunately, we cannot, we are not elevated that we'll still see. But that's how the devotee look at whenever the problems come in their life. Whenever the problem comes in their life, then what they are dependent on the Lord, and they can realize that Lord's presence in their life. So it is whenever all of us, it's a big lesson for all of us that whenever we have difficulty, we should surrender to Krishna, and we can easily realize Krishna's presence in our life. We should not lament and, oh, see, I am doing bhakti, still I'm getting these problems. Because Lord wanted to glorify his devotees time and again, he does that. So now, after that 2-3 shlokas, Kunti Maharani says that who are the people who are qualified to have your mercy? She got it, but then who is the qualified? Namo kinchan vidyaya nivrite gun vrityaye atmaramaya shantaye kevale pataye namah. So before that, she gives. Okay, yeah. So this shloka actually is very important. Janashware Shutrashibhir Edman Madhapuman Nevahati Abhidatum Vai Twamakinchana Gocharam. So where Lord says that may your lordship my Lord, your lordship can easily be approached by whom? Who are materially exhausted. Akinchana Gocharam, who does not have anything to depend upon. Akinchana Gocharam means maybe you are materially also you are well placed, but you have nothing else, nowhere else to go. But people who are, Janma, who are born in a good family, Aishwarya, who has good wealth, Shruta means higher education, Shri means beauty. So what happens generally, we get any of these things, we get the pride. And because of that, we are not able to, worship to the Lord. We are not able to surrender. And Krishna is, he is what? Akinchana Vittaya. The people who don't have anything, for them, Krishna is the only savior. So our mindset should be that, that we are always dependent on you, Krishna. I have no other this thing. Maybe initially we may not get that feeling because of our material opulence, but slowly we should develop that feeling by reading these beautiful prayers of Kunti and Gajendra prayers and Bhishma prayers. And there's so many prayers in Bhagavatam. That's why we should read Bhagavatam every day. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So with that, we will develop that mood of these elevated devotees like that, with whom we can, maybe we can also see the Lord every day if we pray to the Supreme Lord like this. Okay. Anyway, I'll proceed further. This is just second chapter. I'm supposed to finish 6 chapters. So anyway, after that, she gives the various, things to for what it is considered as that Krishna comes to this material. So it is very difficult to, understand that, how Lord takes birth and how his activities are. So she is giving, she gives very nice example that, people say in 29 shlokas, she says that people say that you are, you are partial, but they don't know that it is just because of their illusion they are thinking you that you are partial. So, and Prabhupada gives very nice example there that sun is there. Sun may be a different, what do you say, ways. For example, a blind person, sun does not matter. And for a person who is looking for, maybe suffering from some disease where he needs sunlight, for him, sun is so important. For insects and all that, sun is very this thing because they die in sun. So same sun is there. Then per the illusion, person will think, oh, sun is very partial. See, to blind person, he is acting differently. To this person, he is acting differently. To insects and others, he is acting differently. But actually, sun is same. It is all the people's perception that they think. So she is giving that, logic like that. And like that, later she gives the various reason for Krishna. So she says that some people think that you are born in the, Yadu dynasty because to glorify that particular, what do you say, a dynasty. Some people say that you are born, because you wanted to glorify the king like Yudhishthira. Some people say that you answered the prayers of Vasudev and Devaki. Some people say that you wanted to remove these demonic people from this thing. But and some people say that you, because you wanted to reciprocate to Brahma's prayers, you came. But actual reason for you is what? You are coming to give loving devotional exchanges to your devotees. So the main reason of you is not coming, and doing all these activities. Those activities are anyway taken care. But you come here so that your devotees can relish your beautiful pastimes. So this is a famous. This again with this I think is almost like it. Kunti Maharani stops this his glory. So Shrivanti Gayanti Grinanti Abhikshana Shaha स्मरन्ति नन्दन्ति त्वहि तं जना ते एव पश्यन्ति अचिरेण त्वाकं भाव प्रवाह प्रवाहो परमं padambujam. O Krishna, those who continuously hear, chant, repeat your transcendental activities, or take pleasures in other doing so certainly see your lotus feet, which alone can stop from the repetition of. So she says that, so basically she is glorifying the devotional service here, who chant your name, who hear your katha, who take pleasures in other telling about this thing. For them, you are easily accessible and you can relieve them from the pressure. So like that, and further she continues, and at last she says that let my mind be totally attracted towards you. Please cut all my connections with Pandavas and Vrishnis so that I can fully focus on you. Like that she plays. And after that, what happens is that, she further glorifies, and at last, Lord Krishna accepts the request by Yudhishthir Maharaj to stay there. And why he is staying again? To give the glorification on another great devotee, which is Bhishma. So next chapter is about the passing away of Bhishma Dev. So what happens is in this chapter that Yudhishthir Maharaj, in previous chapter end only, Yudhishthir Maharaj becomes very, morose. He just cries loudly. He says that I am the cause of, all this devastation which has happened. And, I think I will suffer in hell. Like that, he curses himself. And he says that for my selfish interest, I have killed so many people like that. So then Krishna tries to pacify this thing. There are great sages, who are there. So these sages, they try to, pacify Yudhishthira, but Yudhishthira is not getting pacified. Why? Do you think Krishna is not sufficient to pacify? He can pacify Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita and many other places we see he cannot. But why Krishna is not able to pacify Yudhishthira? Because he wanted to glorify Bhishma Dev. Now Bhishma Dev is lying, as you all know, that during the war, Bhishma Dev was lying in the field on the bed of arrow. So now he tells Yudhishthira Maharaj, okay, you are not getting pacified, let's go to your grandfather, Bhishma Dev, lying there. So ultimately, the whole purpose of this pastime, this whole chapter is that Krishna wants to give darshan to Bhishma Dev while he is leaving his body. So that's how he reciprocates with devotees. Wherever, in whatever way, a devotee wants to see Lord, Krishna is just fulfilling that. Bhishma Dev wanted to see, because Bhishma Dev wanted to see Lord in Veera Rasa, in the person who is in the battlefield, because that's where he was reciprocating. That's where this thing. So basically, Bhishma Dev, when the Krishna reaches there, along with that, all the Pandavas, all the great sages, they all come from all around because they want to see the glorious passing away of Bhishma Dev. So Bhishma offers prayers through words, because his body cannot move. Through words, he offers prayers to each one of them. And then he starts referring to Pandavas. He says, Aho kashtam, aho anya, yad yuvam dharmanandana, jivitum nartha klishtam vipradharma achyuta ashraya. He says that you have gone through so much injustice, so much suffering in your life. But if it was anybody else, he wouldn't have lived only. But you were protected by whom? Vipra dharma achyuta. Because you took the shelter of Brahmana, Krishna, and Dharma, you were saved. And then he says, my daughter-in-law Kunti, she came when after his husband died, she was a widow. She came this thing. She suffered all her life. Then he says, what could be the reason? The reason could be the inevitable time. The Kala is the only one which is controlling everyone. But then he says, how is it possible that Kala can control? Because it is the Yudhishthira who is son of Dharma, Bhima who is the greatest fighter, Arjuna who is the greatest warrior, and above all, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna is the direct well-wisher of Pandavas. Still, how it is possible that you have to go through the time, because time is under the control of Lord Krishna. Then he says that nobody can understand the plan of Sri Krishna. Even the great philosophers, they cannot understand. So he tells to Yudhishthira, better it is for good for every living entity that whenever they are not able to maintain their life, control their life, they should think this as a plan of Lord Krishna. It is not possible for any one of us to understand what Krishna is planning. Because if you see Mahabharat war, it is inconceivable to understand why Pandavas have to go through. They are the greatest devotees of the Lord. Krishna wanted to glorify the devotees of the Lord. If you see whole Bhagavatam, all the devotees are put into trouble. Dhruva was insulted, Prahlad was tormented. Everywhere we see the devotee. Why? Because Krishna wants to show to the whole world that how glorious his devotees are. So then Bhishma says that, it is this, you should not get bewildered. He is Lord Krishna, who is Lord Narayan himself. He is there. So don't get misled by his illusory energy. You think he is your cousin, but actually he is the Supreme Lord. So don't he is acting as your friend, he is well-wisher, your messenger. He went to as a messenger to Hastinapur. Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead. He went. So don't get misled by that. He is Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is present everywhere. He is like that. He keeps on, glorifying, this thing, Lord Krishna. And he's, so then ultimately he tells that, okay, I want to meditate upon the, Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. Before that, he gives the all this, dharmic, duties. He tells to Yudhishthira what is his duty and all. So this whole section is not given in Bhagavatam. In Mahabharata, there are chapters on this between Bhishma and Yudhishthira. But Bhagavatam is not meant for material, this thing, no. Bhagavatam is meant for glorifying the Supreme Lord. So here in two stanzas, two shlokas, it gets over. And after that, Bhishma Dev observes that, sun is moving into Uttarayan. So the Bhishma Dev wanted to leave his body. He had a blessing that he will leave his body whenever he desires. So because of that, as soon as it sun turns into Uttarayan, he just starts meditating upon the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, because now he wants to leave his body. So in this portion, next portion, what he does is that, he glorifies the, because he wants to leave his body thinking about Krishna. So these are the famous, prayers of, Lord Krishna, where he is, actually, these shlokas, actually, this Kunti's prayers, Bhishma's prayers, there are lectures and lectures. Each shloka, people, great devotees, they give, hours and hours of lectures. So they are so beautiful, prayers. So this is one, Tribhuvan Kamanam, Tamala Varnam, Ravikara Gauravara Brahmam Dhanane Vapur Alaka. So these prayers are, I think, a lot of devotees, I'm not very good in this, but a lot of devotees, they recite these prayers. In our circle also, there are so many devotees who has by-hearted all these prayers, So we should read these prayers and we should, so that we can meditate upon Lord. So what Krishna, first he glorifies Lord Krishna, and then he glorifies him, his form, which he saw in the battlefield. Like, for example, if you see the 34 shloka, which says that on the battlefield, the flowing hair of Lord Krishna turned ashen due to the dust raised by the hoofs of horses. Because of his labor, the beads of sweat wetting on. So, matlab, there is full dust on his face, and then there is a sweat beads. They are there on his face, and and his body is full of blood because the Bhishma is firing the arrows. So like that, he's meditating upon each and every the beautiful form of the Lord. And he says that, at last, when he saw that I'm, going to kill Arjuna, he ran towards me carrying the chariot wheel in his hand, that beautiful form, and he dropped his outer garments, that beautiful form he's meditating upon. So like that, he glorifies the, he tells that I want to meditate upon this form. I wanted to meditate upon that form where the Krishna is a charioteer, he is holding the what do you say, rope in one hand and the stick in other hand. So like he glorifies each and every form of the Lord, and which he wanted to meditate upon. And after that, suddenly he stops speaking, and he leaves his body. And it's mentioned, Vasud Goswami says it became just like silent, like birds suddenly become silent when it is evening. So like that. And after that, then these all as devatas and all that, they beat the drums, and the glorious passing away of Bhishma happens, and Maharaj Yudhishthir, performs the last rites of this thing in the presence of Lord Krishna. Okay, so next two chapters are about Krishna leaving Hastinapur, and and then Krishna reaching Dwarka. So unfortunately, in the interest of time, I will not go through, but you can read these chapters where it is beautiful conversation is there between the, like for example, the ladies of Hastinapur, they are glorifying that how glorious are the Dwarka Vasis, that they get the darshan all the time. And we are also so fortunate that Krishna stayed here for so many times, so many, so long, such a long time. He's so they glorify. And when Krishna reaches Dwarka, then Dwarka Vasis who were there in the separation for long, they just offer the prayers to, Lord Krishna. So in these chapters, 2 chapters, it is glorified that how the devotees of the Lord, they have so much love for the Lord, and he is leaving for Hastinapur. Hastinapur Vasis are feeling sorrow, and when though he is reaching Dwarka, the Dwarka Vasis are feeling happy, and you know that like that is next 2 chapters it is mentioned. So and last chapter. So then what happened is that conversation actually started on the 7th chapter, that where Sud Goswami told that, okay, where the Shaunak Rishi asked, please, Sud Goswami told that I will tell you about the birth of Parikshit. But what happened in between, he got misled. He went to Kunti's prayers, he went to Bhishma's passing away, he went to Krishna is leaving, Krishna is coming to Dwarka. And now these Shaunak Rishi asked, okay, you have told us so many things, why don't you tell what exactly happened when the Brahmastra was, fired by Ashwatthama. So again, Sud Goswami comes back, and then he says that, when the this was fired upon Uttara's womb, Krishna personally entered into the womb of this thing. And that child who was there in the womb of Mother Uttara, he had the darshan of Lord in his this thing, in the womb of the mother. And because of that, whole life, he just keep examining the kind of the Lord he has darshan in the womb of his mother. He kept examining everybody. So what he will do is, he will, when he came out, he took birth, he will look at each and every person. He will try to see if it's the same Lord who I saw in the womb. Because he was doing the parikshan, his name became Parikshit. Because he will keep, identifying. He wanted to see Krishna everywhere. So then what happened is, then he was saved by Lord this thing, and his birth happened. And after the birth, this Yudhishthir Maharaj asked, these brahmanas, that is this son going to be as glorious as this thing? So brahmanas, they give that various glorification of this thing. I'm just reading few. So they say that he will be, great as Ikshvaku and Manu. He will be following Brahmanical principles like Lord Ram. He will be the charioteer and protector of this thing like King Shivi. Each one of them has wonderful stories. Actually, we can discuss, but time is not there. He will spread the name and fame of the family like Bharat, the son of Dushyant. He will be the great bowman like Arjuna. He will be irresistible like fire. He will be unsurpassable like ocean. Like that, they go and go and that they say he will be the. At last, they say he will be the great devotee of the Lord, like Prahlad Maharaj. So they also predict that at the end of the life, he will be killed by the Takshak serpent, and but his leaving of his body would be very glorious. He will leave in a glorious way, and like that, this finally, this chapter ends with the Yudhishthir Maharaj performing the, again, we have told earlier that he had done 3 Ashwamedh sacrifices, and Lord Krishna personally assisted him in, performing these sacrifices. And at last, Krishna finally leaves Yudhishthir. So basically, he is leaving now because they have got Sud Goswami back. But earlier chapter itself, they have glorified, Sud Goswami has glorified that he left Hastinapur. But actually, now only at the end of this 12th chapter only, Krishna finally leaves. And then the story continues. There is a wonderful pastimes how after that, Dhritarashtra, this thing, and Shukdev Goswami, there are wonderful Krishna, leaving of Krishna. So we'll see, next session, beautiful stories of this thing, and how Lord Krishna is glorified in the next section of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sorry I had to rush through because there were so many things in this, but prayers of Kunti and Bhishma actually are so this thing that we can spend a lot of time, but unfortunately time is not there. But our goal of these doing these sessions is that we all rather get attracted to Srimad Bhagavatam, and we read Srimad Bhagavatam every day in our Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So please utilize this opportunity to hear the pastimes of the Lord and develop the taste, and every day ensure that you all are reading Srimad Bhagavatam every day. So that's the idea, because the Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedic scriptures, which has been given in the form of a beautiful scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam. So please utilize this opportunity which has been given to us by the mercy of the Lord. Please read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Take out the time, made it part of your sadhana, that every day we will read whatever time you have, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, whole day, whatever you have, to read Srimad Bhagavatam every day. Then only we will develop the Lord. So like Bhishma Dev is saying, he is just meditating upon the Lord's form while leaving the body. Kunti Maharani is saying, let's disconnect my all connections with Pandavas and Vrishnis and all that. Let me go naturally like a Ganga goes towards the sea. Let me go towards you. So like that should be our mood, all of our faith, to have Srimad Bhagavatam, so that we can, at the time of leaving this body, whenever we leave, we are able to meditate upon Lord Krishna. Okay, with that I will end. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Thank you so much for patiently hearing. It was too much to cover, so we covered very little. But hopefully, you all got the essence of this, and please spare the time to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhandas
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna,
Question or comments to add?
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Anybody has any question or comments? You can ask.
I have a question.
I think people have already. They are fed up in 1 hour.
I have a question.
To ask. Many questions, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Yes, I have a
Okay.
question. Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes.
Sorry, Prabhu. Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhu. My question is, Prabhu, that when it's a compassion, like when Draupadi is compassionate mode, she told don't kill Ashwatthama.
Yeah.
But other side, that Bhimasena says that you have to kill because that 5 sleeping kids was killed. So my question, when it comes in the compassion and the dharma, religious, which one we have to be acquired, Prabhu?
See, being a devotee, dharma rakshati dharma. So devotee being does not mean that we have to be just very covered and we are not at all doing any this thing. When it comes to protecting dharma, we should protect. But what happens to in devotees' case, what happens is that Lord guides from inside as Paramatma. Ye yathamam prabhadyante tam sathaya bhajamyam. So whatever is our level of surrender, Krishna will reciprocate accordingly. So we just not see, when Arjuna was in dilemma, Krishna gave him Bhagavad Gita, and at the end what Arjuna says is that what I will do whatever you say. So same way, when we are surrendered to Krishna and when we are reading scriptures, we have developed the taste. So whatever is our level of surrender, Krishna being Paramatma from inside, he will guide us. So we should not worry that, okay, I'm doing right or I'm doing wrong. Krishna as a Paramatma will be there and he will guide us what is right for us. And that point of time, Krishna will be there with us. Only thing what we have to do is we have to, so to Krishna, Arjuna, Krishna is saying you don't, so same Krishna who is telling Arjuna you kill Duryodhana, now the same Krishna is saying to you don't kill Ashwatthama. Ashwatthama is more sinful than Dronacharya. But he is still saying you don't, because he wanted some more pastimes. He wanted that Uttara, this pastime to happen, and Lord wanted Kunti Maharani to glorify this thing. So Krishna's actions is, that's why in so many prayers about Kunti and Bhishma and what they are saying is, it's very difficult to understand Krishna, what he wants to do. So our job is just, keep following the devotional service nicely, and don't worry what is right, what is wrong. Whatever is there, Krishna, he will guide us from inside as Paramatma. I've not seen any devotees doing anything wrong in their life. It may look externally that, okay, what I will do if this situation happens, that situation happens. Don't worry, Krishna will guide us. What is right, what is wrong.
Thank you, Prabhu. That's